It's me, boy, Inky, speaking to you from inside her closet, talking about D&D art. If you recognize what that was a reference to, you're automatically my friend, and you're super cool, because I think that video is hilarious. Hi, I'm Inky, and I'm a digital artist. I do D&D character art stuff, and this year, I'm participating in Art Fight, as I have for the past 8 years. I've been in Art Fight since 2018. Let that sink in. The passage of time is unrepairable, and its march is ever forward. Now, every year I bring to the table essentially a colored sketch as a reference. This year, I've resolved to change that by doing full body turnaround references for all of my characters. As of recording, there's 19 of them. But that's gonna change because I'm missing Samael. I need to add Samael. So it's 20. And that's a lot of characters, so I thought I might as well speed paint it and put it on the internet. So now I'm talking over the drawings and I'm going to tell you about the characters. Cool? Cool. Come on, let's go. This is Enpher. She's like one of my few confirmed heterosexual characters. And she is blue. You will notice very soon when I color her that she is in fact blue. She's one of the aforementioned blue people with lore and homebrew stuff from, I think, the Norn video, and I think they get brought up in the Beatrice video. We have a homebrew race of tieflings. They're called nomads, and unlike every other tiefling, they have a different point of origin. Nomads are all born from one singular event. You probably want to hear what it is? That's spoilers. I say like I'm ever going to tell you. You remember, if you're one of the OGs, you remember this speed paint right here on screen, the really ominous one? Yeah. That is vaguely related. Point is, now there's a whole population of blue people who kind of have it in for Kania, but also for everybody. They just don't trust anybody. And they're like weird and slightly communist, actually. They're cool. We like the blue people. Originally, we didn't like the blue people because we were introduced to them as like an antagonistic force. But we then found out about the blue people and we got to play as blue people. And the blue people are super cool, actually. Nomads are, well, they're one of the factions in the big campaign. And they want the body of the dead goddess that's underneath the soil of the country of Sorrow. That's a whole thing. I always make reference to this thing because it's a pretty important thing. They're sort of raised communally, so that's why on Enpher's sheet you'll see at some point that it's Enpher, no last name. They just don't do last names. They don't really do families. They just all look after each other. There's a very small population of them, and they all sort of vaguely at least know each other. Like, they might not be intimate, but, oh yeah, that guy, I know that guy. As a rule of thumb, nomads have an easier time with magic than most other people. They pick it up really quick, and they tend to be pretty good at it. They also tend to be very intellectually, gifted. They tend to be smarter than average. Enpher is, about average. She's, into 11, into 12, something like that. She's not stupid. It's just that for a nomad, she's not particularly brilliant. She is, however, really good at fighting. So they're like, okay, you're not going to be recon. You're not going to be research. You're going to just be, a frontline fighter for when we need one. And she had, a whole little platoon of people. And she had a boyfriend. It was really cool. She was winning. She was #winning. She used to be a little golden retriever girl. I don't know if I have a sketch of that. I think I do. I'm going to pull up a sketch of that. But then one day, her boyfriend left. And he didn't come back. And she was like, oh no, he must have died or something, right? He didn't defect, right? He didn't leave. He didn't leave the nomads, right? And then sometime later, she was doing an operation, and who shows up if not the military of Sorrow? Enemies of the nomads. For a brief overview of that military, maybe the Beatrice video would be your best bet. But the point is, the enemy military shows up and completely wrecks them. Almost like they knew they were going to be there and had time to prepare. Oh no. Enpher is left for dead. She's alive, but she loses an eye and a horn, and a wyvern, fucks up her face. She's the only one that makes it out. And she's like, wait a minute. Nobody was supposed to know we were gonna be here. Except I told my boyfriend, because I always tell my boyfriend everything. Oh no, he did defect, and he told the enemy this. And then she really, all her friends are dead. It's really sad. All her friends are dead. Her boyfriend betrayed her. He's now her ex, she guesses. And she got mangled. So she swears an oath to never let that happen again and completely, prevent anybody that leaves from spilling the beans. That translates into killing them. She's going to ensure that you never tell anyone anything, and the only way to make 100% sure of that is by killing you. So she becomes like a defector hunter. And that's exactly the premise of the one-shot that I played her in. It was actually a 3-shot, because it was like an episodic series of missions. Enpher and A-Link, who is my friend's character, we'll get to A-Link in a minute, go on a little hunt for 3 nomad defectors. The first of which is Enpher's ex. Enpher's ex has since apparently gotten a human wife from Cyril and a baby. He has a son now. Enpher rolls up to his house anyway, and she's like, look, I'm not happy to be here, but I kind of do want to get back at you. And he's like super sorry. It's like really dramatic because he remembers her being like a little golden retriever lady. So he's like, oh my God, no, you used to be the bigger person. Come on, please let me live. You used to be so nice. What happened to that? And she's like, you happened. And it's like, ooh, big drama at the table. She ends up fighting and killing her ex. And she goes upstairs, and the wife is there. And she's like, oh, God. Okay, what has he told you? Because she's hoping the wife hasn't been told anything, because the official directive is to dispatch of anyone that knows anything. So she's like, oh, I hope this woman doesn't know anything. But, the woman knows. The woman knows. And the one's just like, just spare my son, please. And Enpher's like, that's a baby. The baby doesn't know classified information. It's a baby. Yeah, your son's fine. I'm sorry. And then she kills the wife. The son, however, she takes to an orphanage. And the son later goes on to be played by my friend as Everett. I love Everett. He's such a little guy. I love Everett. We will get to Everett again later. Because, ooh. So then we play the second session. And that's fine, normal. We get a target. We hunt the target. We kill the target. Cool. But then the third session is really dramatic. Because the next target clearly has a trick up his sleeve. He talks with A-Link. I think it was through message spells. Underhandedly talks to A-Link. So the guy calls the Wyvern Knights. Because he's obviously, planned this. He knew we were coming. And then A-Link and him fuck off via teleport. And then there's just Enpher's there. And the Knights are there. As it turns out, I knew this all along, but I didn't tell you because Enpher didn't know this. So now you get to find it out alongside her. A-Link is not actually a nomad. A-Link is a changeling anthropologist who is studying nomad behavior. And our latest target offered to tell A-Link everything they want to know about nomads. So A-Link, whose name isn't actually A-Link, they're the Knight of Ivy, that's their title, just leaves with the target because it's way more useful to them. And then Enpher's just there with the Knights. Now, if you remember, I said Enpher got her face messed up by a wyvern. So when the Knights show up with a wyvern, Enpher just, she's like, I'm going to fight these guys. She completely loses it. She just, collapses. And then they arrest her. The knight that arrested her seems to feel really bad about it. Because, he's super comforting. He's like, it's okay. Don't worry. We're not going to hurt you. And Enpher's just like, no, just no. You're going to do something so much worse. You're going to interrogate me. She's like, I hate you. Leave me alone. Obviously, it doesn't work because she's a prisoner. They take her in. They take her to jail. And they want to interrogate her. The Sauradine, honor code, again, Beatrice video. The Sauradine honor code doesn't allow for, outright torture in most instances, I believe. But what they do actually have the permission to do is use the spell suggestion, which makes the target obey a command within reason. And they use it to make Enpher tell them things gradually. So they ask a question and they cast suggestion to make it so she has to answer the question. But she starts picking up the habit of just obeying the spell to the letter, which means trying to speak in as few words as possible to give him the least amount of information while still fulfilling the question. So over her time in jail, which is at the end of everything 6 years, she has picked up the tick that she speaks in 3, 4, maybe 5 word sentences. She will often omit things. she might leave the subject of the sentence entirely up to interpretation. So instead of saying, like, I don't like it, she might just say, don't like it. Instead of saying, like, I feel bad, she'd just be like, I feel bad. And then they release her from jail. They're like, okay, we've interrogated you for everything you were worth. It's been, like, over half a decade. We don't have any more use for you. We're not going to kill you. Here's a passport. Be on your way. And Enpher has absolutely nothing to do, because at this point, the main campaign plot has wrapped up, and the nomads have, like, they don't have their goal anymore. The dead goddess corpse is just not something they can obtain anymore because of the campaign change to the status quo. So they're just kind of, like, scattered to the wind. So Enpher has absolutely nothing to do, except one thing, which is, before killing her, he promised Everett's birth mother that he would be safe. So she's like, okay, it's the last thing I got to do. I always fulfill my promises, paladin shit. I am going to keep this child safe. It is the last thing I have going in my life. I don't have my friends anymore. I don't have my mission anymore. My people have scattered. I don't even think I want to go back to them because I've spilled all of their information and I feel bad about it. I have literally nothing to do except look after this kid. So she takes the time to move to Everett's orphanage's city so she can start tracking down Everett. And then she tracks down Everett, and she is going to just look after him from the shadows. The thing is, she is due for a comeback. That's what the second sheet is about. She's due for a comeback because I'm going to have her as an NPC in Everett's campaign. I'm going to be DMing a campaign. Wish me luck, because I'm really, really bad at it. But I promised my friend he would get a solo campaign as Everett, who's like a child in school. He gets like a little magic school campaign. Wish me luck. But obviously, because it's Everett and Enpher's like his shadowy protector, she is going to make an appearance as an NPC in that campaign. And that's what the second design is for. So, after she gets out of jail, she cuts her hair and she follows after Everett. Everett moves somewhere far, far warmer than Sorrel to go to school. He goes abroad. And Enpher's like a little Canian cold blue lady. So she's constantly like, it's way too hot for her. So she has to ditch the full plate unless it's an emergency. This is like her casual wear. But she doesn't trust not having armor on her at all times. She's got like trust issues. So even though she's like overheating, she's just like, okay, just the top, shorts, but I need to have armor on me, so I'm going to have a breastplate. I can't carry my massive warhammer, but I can have a small hammer and a shield. This is about as casual as Enpher gets, right? With the plate, the little breastplate, and the shield, and the hammer. You're never going to catch her unarmed. You're never going to catch her unarmored. And I'm excited to see what direction Everett has her take as an NPC. Is he going to, like, be nice to her? Is he not going to be nice to her? I suspect he's going to be nice to her. Is he going to encourage her to meet new people? Is he just going to keep her company? I don't know, and I'm really excited to find out. Here is both of the sheets together. Same thing as usual. Like, comment, subscribe, do all of the YouTuber things. If you want to commission a sheet just like this one, coffee.com/CommanderInky commissions. If you want to commission just like a drawing of your character, also coffee.com/CommanderInky commissions. If you don't want to do it through Coffee, I take PayPal. Just DM me on any social media. And stay tuned for next time. I think I'm going to do Red and or Liz. So that's going to be fun.